Welcome to WHU Inside Business. I am Schlereth and I'm here with Ingo Chu, CFO and current interim CEO of the online business network XING. Ingo, thank you very much for taking your time.
Thanks for having me.
About 7 years ago, you started as CFO, Chief Financial Officer at XING. How would you describe the business model back at that time, and how would you describe it now?
Well, a lot of things have changed in the past 7 years, which is why it's so great to work here. If you look at XING then, basically it was a professional network, right? And if you look at XING now, the vision is for a better working life. So what we want to do is we want to help white-collar professionals in their working life. We do that by focusing on 3 things. One is people, so we bring people together. That's the classical networking part. The second thing is jobs. So we want to provide our users access to the relevant job market, so help them find the job of their lives. And number 3 is professional content. We want to become the most relevant source for professional content and help our users become more successful in their working lives. Now, if you look at the details in the company a little bit more deeper, then what you see is basically we've moved from a one product company to a multiple product company. We've moved from a functional organization to a business unit organization. If you look at the number, we've gone from about a little over 40 million in revenues to about 150 million in revenues with EBITDA and cash flows following suit. If you look at market cap, we've gone from a little under 200 million euro in market cap to about 1 billion euro in market cap. So in a nutshell, basically we've gone from a pure network and a small company to a mentor focusing on helping white-collar professionals in their working life and a bigger company.
For me, XING is stunning because the root element of XING is probably still the business network. But it succeeded on a German-speaking local market and defended off any global competitors. What are the key elements for this success, and what actually do you recommend companies in a rather similar situations?
Well, it might sound simple, but it's exactly that. It's focus on your customer and do what you're really good at. And if you look at the business we are in, it just means being local, right? If you look at what we do, and we talked about that, we're doing people, we're doing jobs, we're doing news and professional content. These are segments where local and national is just more important, right? It's the relevant scope. Over 80% of the German-speaking white-collar professionals network only nationally, right? Mm-hmm. There are no international networking effects. If you look at the labor markets are national, right? Even foreign companies in the German-speaking region basically hire for the German subsidiaries Germans who work in Germany and speak German language, right? And the same goes for professional content. Not many people read Harvard Business Review, but they read Lebensmittelzeitung and Wirtschaftswoche. So in our case, local is just better.
With the subsidiary kununu, a rating portal for employees, XING entered the US market. Does that also mean that XING is heading for a global internationalization strategy with their own core product?
No, that's completely separate, and it's more like an experiment. I mean, in 2009, we deliberately focused on the DACH region strategically. And the situation was we were very strong in the DACH region. There was lots of room for growth, and we were a small company. So from a strategic point of view, it was sensible to focus our resources on the DACH region. Now, if you look at the situation now, we're still a clear market leader in the German-speaking region. There's also still lots of room for growth in the German-speaking region. However, the company is much bigger, and so there is capacity for a few selected international initiatives. And kununu US is one of those initiatives, right? So with kununu in the German-speaking region, we're the clear market leader in employer transparency. And we've built a employer branding business on top of that, right? So we help companies present themselves as attractive employers. And in times where the labor market is very tight and where employers have to invest in the employer brand, that's a very good business, right? There are other markets where that is the case, and the US is one of those markets. And so together with a strong local partner, Monster, we're trying to build this US joint venture in employer branding and employer rating. And so far, the results are good, and we are confident that that's an opportunity for us. But XING itself, like the network part and the jobs part, and the professional content part, will remain DACH focused, because local is just better.
Despite the obvious global players in business networks, do you see potential threats to new competitors entering the field? For example, Facebook?
I mean, Facebook is a very admirable company, right? But they are clearly private. So they focus on the private lives of the user. XING focuses clearly on the professional lives of the users. I mean, we're the clear market leader in the German-speaking region with more than 11 million members for professionals, right? We have the most activity in professional social networking in the German-speaking region. We have the best professional profiles. And I think that's the way the user wants it, right? I mean, users separate between their professional life and their private life. We have this saying, which is Dienst ist Dienst and Schnaps ist Schnaps. And I believe as long as the user works and has a professional life, and as long as this attitude with Dienst ist Dienst and Schnaps ist Schnaps is valid, we'll be successful.
Attracting students at the end of their studies must be one of the key elements of XING's strategy, because they are the future employees for many companies and of great interest. Could you name reasons why students should already engage in business networks during their studies, so before they start entering their career path?
Yeah, I think it comes back to the three elements of XING and our vision: people, jobs, and news. I mean, I think building your network early on is never wrong, right? You can use your network for whatever problems you have to solve, even as a student, whether you're looking for an internship, whether you're looking for a mentor, whether you're looking for somebody who's helping you with a particular problem, and that could be other students as well as professionals already, right? Second thing is jobs. We have probably the largest offer of student jobs and internships in the German-speaking region on our platform. And I know from my own studies that can be challenging, finding something which is really attractive. And the third one, of course, is professional content. So we are deliberately scanning the web for relevant content, which we then play out to our users. And of course, that can be interesting to students as well.
Ingo, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much, Christian.